Alright guys, we're back with another Goji Center reaction. I haven't reacted to these guys in a long time. So we have, apparently we got a company extracting T-Rex DNA before GTA 6.
Ladies and gentlemen, the future is now! Two companies, the Organoid Company and VML Lab-Grown Leather Company, have teamed up to
It's not
give
even
you the
colossal.
carry-on experience 66 million years in the making. Replicated from DNA preserved in collagen from Tyrannosaurus rex fossils.
That's a massive pog. Massive. Whoa, taper.
The new T-Rex leather handbags are hitting the shelves later this year. Made by cutting-edge, trademarked technology by modifying...
Let me say this. This kind of looks lame because, like, I don't really care what leather my accessories are made from. I usually just go for either cow leather, like beef leather, or like a synthetic leather. I don't really care for any sort of other leather other than beef leather or synthetic. But this kind of looks cool, but eh.
From its closest relative.
And it just glitched out. My internet has been a little finicky for the past few days. Post-edit me, can you please put the Jeopardy theme right here?
And grown without any need for skinning the animal. This faithful reproduction of an actual Tyrannosaurus. Oh, God.
I might get
Okay,
it.
alright. Time for a fact check. This totally might come as a huge surprise to all of you, but now it looks like we are 2 for 2 on paleo-themed PR stunts this year after that fiasco where Colossal made overly elaborate designer dogs and slapped the direwolf label on them.
Let me say this. It is identical to what a direwolf would have been if they had still been alive today. Therefore, if it had been edited to look like a direwolf, at that point it's a direwolf. Because you know the saying, if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, it talks like a duck, it's probably a duck. So, yeah. If you 3D printed life, and you 3D printed an existing species, is it that existing species? I would believe so.
We call them dwinos. If they do not look like a dire and bark like
Godzilla reference right there.
a dire, we aren't calling them dire. Same thing applies here. Sorry to burst any bubbles, but those ain't Ice Age wolves brought back from the dead, and nobody is turning Rexy or
Womp
Sue
womp,
into
who
a
asked?
handbag. What we have
Also,
here
womp
is known
womp.
in the world of business as a PR stunt.
Yo, I'm
Something
kind of
that gets
PMO'd right
investors
now. I
excited
ain't
and
even
puts
gonna
company
lie.
names on the map. There certainly can be good motives, and the tech involved is quite impressive, but we feel the need to clarify a few things that the internet hype train inevitably is going to get wrong. This group has created what
Yeah, I'm
they
kinda
like to
PMO'd
call
over Dangerville right
elemental
now.
leather by essentially engineering skin cells in
And
the
not
lab to
Dangerville,
create
Goji
leather
Center.
products without actually having any animals involved. It's similar to some of the lab-grown meat you might have heard about on the news. Now, the goal of the
I'm not getting
companies
that
is
'cause
making
violence
more
makes
environmentally
everything
friendly
better, so.
and ethical leather products
Hey, you're
by
an-
basically growing skin without
Now,
the
imagine
need
if
of
I actually
killing an
said it.
actual
I
animal.
mean, I may still have the
Legitimately
past,
good
but,
application and cool use of the technology. If someone wants to
Yeah,
pay
I do wanna
thousands
put
of
my
dollars
channel on
for
the
a
line like
handbag,
that.
better an exotic animal kept its dignity and wasn't put down to make that happen.
Sigma. And an ad's popping up. If it's in, like, Danish or something, it's because I have a VPN. What the scabbity?
Dirk is altijd voordelig en heeft de beste kwaliteit. En een compleet assortiment. En goedkope aanmerken
I don't think
verrassende
I asked.
aanbiedingen. Met deze week
Anyone knows what
kuppensoep.
this says?
Alle varianten, pak van 3
Translate it for me in
stuks
the
voor maar
comments
69
if you
cent.
want.
Op
I
Dirk kun je
actually don't
rekenen.
know.
Honesty, however, that's the problem. What has been claimed is that they used Tyrannosaurus collagen samples to recreate parts of the genome and then edited modern animal skin cells to make T-Rex-like hide. Now, if you're still lost here with some big words, don't worry. Let us explain. Collagen is a special type of protein that is really important for many parts of our bodies,
Yep.
especially our skin. It helps the skin stretch and spring back like a rubber band, and helps it retain
Spring
water.
locks?
You can think of collagen like the framework of a
Buggers.
building. It supports everything but doesn't help build the walls. Now, even though our bodies can make collagen, it doesn't have DNA in it. Imagine it like the stuffing inside a stuffed toy, like your Ultima plushie. The stuffing makes the toy soft and helps it keep its shape, but it's not what makes the shape of the toy. So trying to figure out DNA or cell composition from collagen is like trying to look at a random toy and figure out the exact factory it came from. So to go back to our T-Rex example, taking a sample of T-Rex collagen isn't really going to give you any T-Rex DNA. If anything, at best, the most you might figure out are details about how flexible the skin was, based on what kinds of collagen were present and evolutionary relationships. A previous study in 2007 on preserved T-Rex collagen showed that it was functionally identical to ostrich collagen, further proving our feathered friends of today are every bit as much dinosaurs as the tyrant lizard king. But the DNA? No, that's nowhere to be found here. Besides, there's actually not that much known about T-Rex skin anyways. So let's imagine for a moment that these bags actually roll out and you, being curious, had a few $1,000 burning a hole in your pocket. And now you're wondering, how do I know this is in fact identical to T-Rex skin? Well, you won't. Or it will be very hard to tell. First off, this won't be T-Rex skin, but will it at least be similar, right? Despite Tyrannosaurus coming from some of the best studied fossil formations in the world, and having dozens of specimens, more than any other big theropod in its size class, actual skin fossils are surprisingly rare. The Hell Creek Formation, where most T-Rex specimens come from, doesn't have the right kind of settlement to easily make skin fossils. We're not talking about the fine-grained, high-quality stuff that preserved fossilized feathers from various raptor or other Tyrannosaurus species like Eutyrannus. For an animal with the same surface area as a bus, almost every skin sample found was smaller than the back of your palm. Some are even smaller than a fingernail. This is why it can be surprisingly difficult to tell for sure what kind of feathering the tyrant lizard king had. It had to have some, but feathers don't preserve easily anyways, and it might have been in spaces we just don't have fossils from yet. Well, what about the scaly parts then?
I had to pause the thing real quick. I had to go do some other things with it.
I ask, would those look like the promotional images? Maybe they're onto something and really are getting very close.
Wait,
right?
was T-Rex skin brown?
Hell no. From the scraps of T-Rex skin we actually do have, it seems like almost any scaly portions had extremely small scales. Not the big crocodile-like plates you see on alligator leather. Typical Tyrannosaurus scales were actually about 1 millimeter wide. For visual representation, here is what one T-Rex scale looks like next to an alligator's. If you want to imagine theropod scales, think about what you see on bird feet and think less of what you saw on Jurassic World Dominion's Giga. The only real dinosaur leather made right now is this. These products are...
Let me hear this. There was like a lost video that wouldn't upload, but now I'm kind of happy that I didn't upload because half of the video was me simping and gooning over Rexy from Jurassic Park. So do with that what you will. I really hope any colleges I'm trying to get into do not hear that.
From plucked ostrich skin and their leg scales. So actual T-Rex leather would probably look a lot like this. So if this venture was actually legit, why don't the representations they cooked up have something like this? Well, the fact that they used AI for the promo images. But being very unspecific about saying how they managed to recreate
That's not very pog at all.
Skin only adds to the suspicion. Despite the name, artificial intelligence isn't really that intelligent. It can only reference material it knows and can't actually get creative. As of the creation of this video, it also has a tendency to give you answers you want to see rather than those that actually exist. In essence, it's overcomplicated autofill off a search engine. Great for some uses like number crunching, terrible at figuring certain things out. We're not trying to assume too much here, but considering both of these promotional images were AI generated, that's
why it shouldn't make art at all.
Rexy from Timo in the background there, and according to that visual graph, apparently pigs and sheeps are the close T-Rex relatives that they used to analyze to help rebuild the T-Rex genome. Yeah, we went to more effort on the visuals for this episode.
Not even the same, like, clade. Is that the right word, clade? Like T-Rex, I'm pretty sure, the clade Sauropsida, and sheeps, and, yeah, all that is clade, like, synapsid? Yeah, synapsids. T-Rex is diapsid. Mammals, synapsid. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got that right. I know my stuff. And my internet is getting glitchy again.
than this massive company did on their promotion.
Massive.
Probably for a
Little
hell of a
taper
lot
fade.
less. Guess we didn't find out where all those Hall of Shame entries wound up. Somebody in the UK and Netherlands started making handbags out of them. At the end of the day, figuring out anything
Pog.
at all from an extinct
not
animal
Pog.
is exciting
Is it
news.
Pog? I don't know.
This one just
Am I cringe for
isn't
saying Pog in
it.
2025?
Imagine
Yes.
the groundbreaking news that would change the way we see the most famous dinosaur in history be announced by a
Yo, that's kind of
handbag
bad though. I was
company.
gonna clap those shit.
If this was truly some landmark discovery, revealing
Yeah,
more
does anyone
info
know
on
how to
how
just,
they
like,
achieve this would
actually
add more
stop?
legitimacy to this hollow PR stunt.
Did anyone know how to stop?
Instead, the AI-generated images, confusing graphics, and at several points claiming T-Rex existed 14 million years before he did, something that could have easily been fact-checked on Wikipedia, really didn't give us the best first impression.
Unless he's
Keeping
also
everybody on the
years
same
old.
page is important when announcing this sort of thing. That was a problem with the Dwino fiasco, with Colossal Biotech claiming multiple times the Dire was the ancestor or closest relative of the Grey Wolf. And when they revealed their data,
Sibayu. However you say that acronym. Bro, this is pretty much the least Pog thing Goji Center has done. That's surprising because Goji Center's always been pretty Sigma to me.
it turns out that wasn't the case. But at the end of the day, guess it
Yeah,
proves a
yeah,
few
bro.
things
I
about the
finna
Jurassic
crash out
series that have
unironically, bro.
aged remarkably well.
You stood on the shoulders of geniuses to accomplish something as fast as you could, and before you even knew what you had, you patented it and packaged it and slapped it on a
Overpriced handbag.
and now you're selling it. You want to sell it. Well,
I don't like these Jurassic Park comparisons because Hammond had something good going on the entire time. It was just until Henry Wu got greedy and Dennis Nedry opened the gates, and that's when it all went downhill in that story. So yeah, I think Goji Center. Yeah, I don't know. Should I? Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I got y'all. Yeah. Another thing, I didn't know about this Goji Center hybrid universe thing. If some of y'all will give me the scoop on that, similar to how Ennard scooped Michael Afton from Finite Spaghetti. If anyone would give me the scoop on that, on this hybrid verse from Goji Center thing, I would appreciate it in the comments. With that being said, like, subscribe, and peace out.